Oh, not necessarily. The report is that against a resumption of work on the Merivale-Sandy Hollow railway line, unless the possible development of mineral resources gives us a completely different set of conditions.
But surely the report has already been delayed 6 months to get just that information.
Yes, well, I think you can say that the report, or the corporation, has taken into account the likely development, but there's no guarantee at the present time that this development is going to take place. It's still in the talking stage.
This report then is valid today.
It's valid
but if
today.
Somebody tomorrow says we've got coal, we've got whatever
2.5 or 3 million tonnes of coal a year, well, that's a completely different set of circumstances. Of course, can I just come in and mention that I've released this report as the responsible minister, having been presented to me by the Development Corporation. But of course I must take this to Cabinet, and Cabinet in due course will consider the report before any decision is made.
Would you care to crystal ball on how Cabinet will accept this report?
No, I'm only one of a number of ministers, but certainly the report is fairly definite that there should be no resumption until mineral development alters the conditions. Well, you know, the corporation is a corporation appointed by the Minister to do a job. As far as I know, the corporation has taken into account everything in relation to the mineral resources in that area. I don't have close contact with the corporation because I don't want the corporation to produce the sort of report that I want. They have a job to do to produce a report along the terms of reference. I have been told by the chairman that they have taken into account all information that has been brought to their attention and to the attention of this department during the last 6 months since the question of mineral resources has been brought to our notice.
As Minister of Decentralisation, what aspect has been put on the value of this railway line as a decentralising medium?
I think if you look at the terms of reference, you'll find that there was one particular term of reference asking the corporation to take into this question into particular account.
And according to the figures which you've briefly given, its effect on Newcastle is negligible. This will surprise many people.
Well, the corporation say that there will be, I think that was from memory, it was a 4% increase, I think, in throughput in Newcastle because of the development of the railway.
Unless, of course, there's a mineral find.
Well, that's right. This is the whole point, and this is what the corporation emphasised, and that the whole set of conditions could be altered if there are private interests prepared to develop the coal resources along the Yulin Sandy Hollow railway line.
The government would countenance the building of a line through a private agency?
Well,
Well,
of course, this would have to be a matter of discussion between the interests concerned, but you would know as well as I do that it's only in the last week that the government has signed an agreement with Pty Limited to build a private railway line from Burragarang to Clifton on the south coast. And this will be a complete private railway line, and this agreement has been ratified this week by the New South Wales Parliament.
This is a line which is not nearly as fully integrated with a state system as
it won't be integrated at all. The Pty one won't be integrated at all.
So this one would be?
This one, of course, if it was, it would be an extension, in effect, of the state railway system. But if I remember rightly, you've got a railway like that in the Newcastle area at the present time.
Very true.
Which operates quite successfully. So there, in effect, is a somewhat similar set of conditions that could come into existence.
Are you forecasting that this will happen?
I can't forecast anything. There's a tremendous interest in the development of all sorts of minerals in Australia, and particularly in the development of our black coal mining in New South Wales. And I know from what I've been told in my own department and other government departments that there are good deposits around Yulin. But you have the problem, of course, of distance and actual quality of that particular coal.
Assuming for one moment that the Yulin coal makes the building of a line worthwhile through to Muswellbrook or to Sandy Hollow in any case, this of course changes the whole aspect of the balance of the line, the cost for which is greatly reduced. The government would then have to look at that section again too.
That's right.
Privately or
well, let's wait until see the particular situation that arises. But I think this is the point about this report at the present time, that it hasn't in effect said that no, the line will never be built. It has said that it is not a proposition from the point of view of the state at the present time for the government to complete this railway line. It would cost the taxpayers of the state too much in relation to the expected return. But a new set of circumstances could arise with regard to mineral development that would make it a proposition for the state or for a group of private companies to develop the line. And when we get a proposition, let's have a look at it.
One last point. If you get a proposition, even tomorrow, does it mean another 3-year study to decide whether it would go ahead?
I think that this is the only time that a proper report has been produced in detail on the economics of a line of this nature.
You wouldn't have to do it again.
And I think that the corporation's report could be very easily updated in the foreseeable future to assess the any new set of circumstances that might arise.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
The accommodation problem for Christmas at the entrance is acute. As far as estate agents are concerned, there just aren't any vacancies at all for what they term the 6-week period. Obviously, the rising prices haven't deterred the holiday makers, but they have almost eliminated the entrance in the Long Jetty area as a holiday spot for the man with the more than average family of 2 children. As one estate agent said, people with large families just don't go away for holidays. These units, for example, at Christmas time let for $130 to $140 a week, and I'm told they're let mainly to doctors and solicitors. Admittedly, they are a superior kind of accommodation right on the waterfront. The price increase for these units over the past 2 years has been on an average of 30% a year. At the other end of the scale, the more modest but still adequate flats for small families at Long Jetty are bringing in rents of $55 to $70 a week. According to estate agents, the holiday cottage, as distinct from flat, is slowly disappearing, and what is left has a minimum price of $50 a week at Christmas, often without septic facilities or other conveniences. In some instances, rents for the Christmas period are double to what they are at other times, to enable the owners and investors to come out ahead.